and dad. We know something about each of them. The sum of their ages is 61, so if I add all three, you get 61. Let's leave that to the side for a second. Well, actually, let me write it like this. Ed plus Carl plus dad equals 61. So there's our equation. I'm just going to replace Ed, Carl, and dad with better information. So Ed's 5 years older than Carl. Father's 6 times old as Carl. How old is Carl? Well, we don't know anything about Carl, so everybody's being compared to Carl. So Carl is going to be Rx. Ed, in relationship to Carl, he's 5 years older, so I'm going to write 5 plus x. And dad is 6 times as old as Carl, so 6 times x. There we go. Now, let's take it over here and replace. Ed is now 5 plus x. Carl is now x. And dad is 6x. Equals 61. Now comes the easy part. X, 6x is 8x, and then plus 5 equals 61. Subtract 5 from both sides. 8x equals 56. We're going to divide both sides by 8. Right, so let me just bring this over here for a second. Divide by 8, divide by 8, x equals 7. So, Ed here is going, first of all, Carl's 7. Ed's going to be 5 plus 7, which makes him 12. Then dad's going to be 6 times 7, which makes him 42. Okay, so, and if you take a moment and add their ages, 12 plus 7 plus 42, you'll notice that it really gives you 61. And you can come back here, x equals 7, check, check, and check, right? By replacing it. So that's that. 2. Let's see, Ray is 2 years younger than Sig, so we have 2 people here, Ray and Sig. Ray's 2 years younger than Sig, so we don't know anything about Sig, and he's being compared to Sig, so it's called Sig X. Ray's 2 years younger than that, so whatever Sig is, minus 2. There. Now we can use it to set up our equation. 3 times Sig's age subtracted from 5 times Ray's age equals 6 age. How old are the boys? Okay, so let's just follow that piece by piece. 3 times. 3 times Sig's age, which is x, subtracted from minus 5 times Ray's age, which is x minus 2 in parentheses, right? Because it's made up of 2 terms. Equals Sig's age equals x. There you go. If you translate it step by step, part by part of the sentence, then you have really no issues. And the one thing we have to be careful here is the word subtracted from, so I'm going to just make sure to change the order of these 2 terms. So instead, it's going to be 5x minus 2 minus 3x equals x. Okay, now the rest. Distributive property, 5x minus 10 minus 3x equals x. Let's combine like terms. 5x minus 3x is 2x. Minus 10 equal x. We have variables on both sides. So this one is actually nice because we did distributive property. We did combine like terms. Now there are variables on both sides, right? So put a check mark, and then variables on both sides. Let's get rid of one of them. We're going to get rid of this x here by doing minus x on both sides. So that becomes 0. And then on this side I have 2x minus x, which is x minus 10 equals 0. Well, now it's easy. Let me bring this over here. We add 10 here, which means I add 10 to the other side. That goes away, and x equals 10. So that makes Sig 10 years old, and Ray, he's going to be 8. Yeah, I know. Sorry, not too crazy challenging. 3, find 2 consecutive even integers. So remember, consecutive integers are x. So if the first one is x, the second even integer is going to be called x plus 2. Right, so pretend the first one was 8. Right, the following consecutive integer is 10. But how do I get from 8 to 10? Well, I add 2 to 8. Right, so this works for odd numbers as well. Okay, so we have 2 consecutive integers, so let me call this x, x plus 2. The first even integer, the second even integer. Okay, so now that we have these, let's set up the sentence such that twice the smaller one, well, the smaller one, and maybe we should label that the first one is a smaller, the second one is the bigger one. Twice the smaller, or 2x, is there's my equal sign, 26 less than means subtraction, 3 times the larger. Who's the larger? X plus 2. Here's my equation, except that because the word is less than, remember we have to switch the order of these two terms, so it actually is 2x equals 3x plus times x plus 2 minus 26. Now comes the other part. 2x, distributive property, 3x plus 6 minus 26. Can we combine like terms? We can. 6 and minus 26 becomes negative 20, or minus 20, sorry. And then now we have variables on both sides again. So we want to get rid of the 2x, minus 2x, and then minus 2x on this side. On the left side, 2x minus 2x is 0. And then 3x minus 2x is just x minus 20. Well, 0 equals x minus 20, right? So plus 20 on both sides, and I finally get to isolate my variable. So x is all alone by itself. So it means that the smaller integer is 20. Smaller even integer is 20. And obviously the second one is going to be 22. Okay, and if you plug 20 over here, right, we would have 2 times 20. And if you plug 20 on this side, sorry, we're using this equation. Let me erase the first one here so we don't get confused. Right, so if you wanted to, if you're going to check, we're going to get 2 times 20 equals 3, 20 plus 2 equals minus 20, sorry, minus 26, so 40. 3 times 2 is, 20 times 2 is 22. 22 times 3 is 66. Minus 26, and then 40 equals 40. So we know everything is good. 4. The greater of two numbers. So right there, the moment you read that sentence, we know there are two numbers. And because one is greater than the other one, we know that one is a smaller one. The other one is the greater one, right? So automatically we know those. The greater, this guy here, of the two numbers is 1 less, this guy here is 1 less than 3 times the smaller. And we don't know anything about the smaller number, so we'll call it x. There. But again, the word is that we have a less than, so which means we have to switch the order of these two terms. So instead of 1 minus 3x, it's actually going to be the greater one. It's actually going to be described as 3x minus 1. And I'm going to cross this out. Okay? And just put an arrow over here. All right. We know who the players are. Now we can set up our equation based on that. So it says 3 times the greater. So 3 times the greater, which is 3x minus 1, is equals 5 more than means addition, 8 times the smaller, 8x, 8 times x, there. Right? So, distributive property, 9x minus 3 equals 5 plus 8x. We have variables on both sides. Let's get rid of the one with the smaller coefficient, which is 8. Minus 8x, minus 8x goes away. This becomes x minus 3 equals 5. Plus 3 on both sides, x equals 8. So, the small number is 8. The bigger number is 3 times 8 minus 1, which gives us 23. You can come back here and check. So, over here I'm going to put 3 times 8 minus 1 equals 5 plus 8 times 8. Let's see if both sides are equal to each other. On the right side, 8 times 8 is 64. 64 plus 5 is 69. So we have that. On the left side, 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 1 is 23. And 23 times 3 is 69. So there. Left side equals right side. This is a check. And that's a check. 5. Now this one is the question that we did, was it yesterday? Age problems, where we have to set up a table. You don't have to. I highly suggest you do it for the first few problems so you know, so you can organize your information. Mother's 28 years older than her daughter. In 4 years, her mother will be 3 times as old as the daughter. How old is the mother now? So we have mom and daughter. So this is now. Right now, mom is 28 years older than her daughter. I don't know how old her daughter is. Call it X, but mom is 28 plus X. In 4 years, so in the future, 4 years from now, the daughter is going to be X plus 4. And the mom is going to be 28 plus X, which is her age right now. And then let's add on 4 years to that. Combine like terms, we can rewrite that as 32 plus X. So that's the mom's age 4 years from now. Now, we get to use this, right, to set up an equation. In 4 years, the mom who is 32 plus X in 4 years, is equals 3 times as old as the daughter. She will be 3 times as old as a daughter, who is X plus 4, right, in 4 years. So we're using mom's age 4 years from now and the daughter's age 4 years from now to set up the equation, because that's what the equation needs, right? Use their ages 4 years from now to set it up, okay? 32 plus X equals 3X plus 12. Let's get rid of the X, right? We have variables on both sides, so let's get rid of the X. So minus X here, minus X here. That goes away. 32 equals 2X plus 12. Subtract 12 from both sides. 2X equals 20, and the baby is 10. So the daughter is 10 years old. And then mom, right now, is 28 plus X, or 28 plus 10, which makes mom's 38 years old. Okay. 6. Again, this is, let's see. Ron is 6 years older than his wife, Bev. Okay, so let's set up an equation. Sorry, set up a table. So you should look back and see when you have a question that says in 4 years, past or future, their age is, in this case, twice his age plus 1 is whatever not, then you probably need to set up a table, okay? Because it makes it easier for me to see how old the people are, whether it's now or in the future. So Ron right now, Ron and wife, and let's call it Bev. Let's call her Bev. Ron is 6 years older than his wife, Bev. Well, we don't know anything about Bev, and I don't know why I write Bex for Bev. Beverly. Beverly's X. Ron is 6 plus X right now, in this moment. And then, because a question is going to ask us to set up an equation in the future, using their ages 4 years from now, we have to create a future column. So in 4 years, Bev, who is currently X, she's going to be X plus 4. Ron, he's going to be whatever he is today, which is 6 plus X. And then to that, we're going to add plus 4. But we can combine like terms here, and we can write it as 10 plus X. So in 4 years, Bev is going to be X plus 4, and Ron is going to be 10 plus X. So now, let's set up the equation. 4 years, twice his age, so 2 times Ron's age, which is 10 plus X, plus 1, there we go, will be equals 3 times Bev's age 3 years ago. Hang on a second. 4 years, twice his age, plus 1 will be 3 times Bev's age 3 years ago. How old are they now? Okay, so I need to do one more column and read the complex sentence. So 3 years ago, Bev is going to be X minus 3. So I needed that extra piece of information. Okay, so let's start again. in 4 years. Hang on. Tricky question. Let me just read this again. 4 years, twice his age plus 1. Okay, we got that. Will be 3 times Bev's age 3 years ago. 3 years ago, so yeah, minus 3, x minus 3. Okay. So this one had an extra column here because I needed Bev's age 3 years ago. Distributed property, we have 20 plus 2x plus 1. This one, distributed property again, 3x minus 9. Let's see. Combined like terms, here we have 2x plus 21 equals 3x minus 9. We have variables on both sides. Let's get rid of the 2x, so minus 2x, minus 2x. That goes away, 21's left over, and this is x minus 9. We're going to do plus 9 here, and plus 9 here, and obviously that goes away, and x equals 30. So, Bev is 30, Ron is x plus 6, so 6 plus 30, 36. All right, so yeah, that's it. And then we can check, right? And then let me just replace x wherever see the x was 30. So 2, 10 plus 30 plus 1 equals 3, 30 minus 3. So on this side we have 30 minus 3, which is 27. 27 times 3, it's 81. Oops, I knew that. And then here 10 plus 3 is 40. 40 plus times 2 is 80. 80 plus 1 is 81. Oh, there we go. Very good. So this one, we forgot about that Bev's age 3 years ago, so I needed an extra column for that. Okay. 7. Please, 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 for the love of God, don't let this be a question you lose points on, because that would be a shame. 64 equals negative 15 over 4 times 2m minus 2/3 minus 11 over 4m. You can do it as fractions. You don't have to clear them. Let's see if it's advantageous. Well, I'm going to do the distributed property first. 64 equals, let's see, negative 15 over 4. So when I do the distributed property, I'm multiplying these two. The 2 and the 4 simplify to a half, so it's actually going to give me negative 15 over 2m. Then negative times a negative is a positive, and then again 1 over 2, and that's going to give me 15 over 6 minus 11 over 4m. That's what I get after the distributed property. Wait, what did I write? 1, 2 is 15 over 6, right? So you will have a calculator. Why can't I write this? So I don't think I'll need it. So I want to clear it, so I'm going to multiply this whole thing, everybody. I'm going to multiply the right side by 12. I'll multiply the left side by 12, and then I'll multiply this side by 12 as well. Okay, 12 times 64. Ugh. Okay, so we have 128, 64. That's going to be 8, 6, 768 equals. Let's clear 12 times. Sorry, that bothers me that I wrote the parentheses. It should be here, here, and then times 12. Okay, so 764, 12 times 64. Let's see, 768. Now we're going to multiply 12 times 15. So remember, distributed property, right, with each of the terms inside the parentheses. That's going to be negative 6 times 15, which is 90, negative 90m. 15 over 6 times 12 is going to be 2 times 15, which is going to be 30. And then 12 and the 4, they simplify to 3 and minus 33m. Combine like terms, yeah, we can. 768 equals to negative 90 and um, 90 and 33 is going to be negative 123 m plus 30. Now we're going to do minus 30 on both sides. We're going to get, I'm going to push it over here, negative 123m. And over here we're going to get 738. Divide both sides by negative 123. 738 divided by negative 123 equals 6. M equals negative 6. Now I gotta go back. So this is definitely a solve and check problem. Okay, so I'm gonna erase everything. And M is negative 6, I hope. I think. So let's make sure it does work. So 64, and wherever I see M, I'm gonna replace it by negative 6. Here we go. Minus 2/3 minus 1/4 of negative 6. Putting parentheses there. Let's see if it works. 64 equals, and then let's do the parentheses. In the parentheses, I have negative 12. Actually, I have negative 12 minus 2/3, which is negative 12 and 2/3. Right? I'm going to multiply that by 15 over 4. So negative 15 over 4. Let me change that to an, what do you call it? An improper fraction, 38 over 3. Okay, which is negative. So all this is going to be, inside is going to be positive. And we get, I'm going to have to multiply 15. Can I simplify this? Yeah, this becomes 2. This becomes 19. So we get 285 over 3. Yikes. Positive. And then minus, well, actually it's going to be positive, plus this becomes 3, this becomes 2, 33 over 2. God, I hope this is right. 64 equals, and then let's choose a common denominator, which in this case is going to be 6. This is going to be 99, and this is going to be 285 times 2. It's going to be 570. There's no way this is right. 64 equals 570 plus 99 equals 699. 669. No, I messed up somewhere. Divided by 6. So let me go back here. I don't even know where I made a mistake.